Okay, so Hugo just sent this one over to me. He said, hey, can you give us an example of this one? No problem. It says solve for TU, write your answer in simplified, rationalized form. And I know I made that one mistake on the test, I guess. But anyway, solve for TU, simplified, rationalized. So there's TU right there. Just put an X at that spot. So you're given the angle of 45 degrees. You're given the hypotenuse right there, and we have the adjacent side is what we're looking for. So the A and the H tell you you're going to use cosine. Okay, so I'm just going to set that up. So the cosine of 45 is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So cosine of 45 is equal to the X over the hypotenuse, so 8 root 2. Oh man, I shouldn't be using green, so I'm just going to change it over to, let's go red. So to solve for x, this again, remember, this is really over 1. You really have a proportion here. You've got a ratio equal to another ratio. So all you got to do is cross multiply like that, and you get your value. So 1 times x is just x, so that's going to be that. Cosine of 45 times 8 root 2, again, in rationalized form. So if you plug in cosine 45 in your calculator, you're going to get a decimal. 8 root 2 into your calculator, you're going to get a decimal. All right. So you can use the website mathway.com, and you can ask for a simplified form. You can do that. Mathway is a great calculator. It'll help you simplify radicals and stuff like that. Or you can use the unit circle and do it by hand. So cosine of 45, if you look at the unit circle, it is root 2 over 2. So I'm just going to write that down. Root 2 over 2 times 8 root 2. 8 root 2. Okay, that's really over 1. So that's cross multiplying. So we get on top, if I multiply these two things together, go back to green. If I multiply those two things together, root 2 times 8 times root 2. If you did that in your calculator or if you just multiply by hand, that really comes out to be 8 times 2, which is 16. And then you divide it by 2. So you get 16 on top, 2 on bottom. So x is really equal to 8. All right, so one more time I'll do that. It says solve for TU, so TU is our x. I'll do this. I'll go back to over to, like, I don't know, orange, I guess. TU is our x. There it is right there. Our angle is 45. We give the adjacent and hypotenuse as cosine. So cosine 45 equals the adjacent over hypotenuse. Cross multiply because it is a proportion. So cross multiply. So 1 times x right here is just x. Cosine 45 times 8 root 2. That is this part right here. Cosine 45 is root 2 over 2. 8 root 2 over 1. So you multiply those two things together, you get 16 on top, 2 on bottom, which is just 8. Thank you so much, Hugo, for the question. Adios.